Hello my friends, welcome back to another video. Hopefully you guys are all having a fantastic day. Today's upload is going to be a video on the upcoming pattern change. This will be the biggest cold shot of the year yet in magnitude, and in real estate wise it's just going to be huge. I would almost call it an Arctic outbreak of cold weather, possibility with a couple of snowstorms along with it that could be affecting especially the central part of the country. So this is very interesting, this is very exciting, and if you want these updates on this pattern change, if you want updates all throughout winter, summer, the whole year about the weather, if you're new to this channel, then consider subscribing, consider liking the video. Again, I emphasize consider because it is up to you. It really helps my channel grow, so thank you if you decided to do that. So now moving on into the video. Looking at the 2-meter temperature anomalies, we are seeing that right now we are seeing some slightly cooler conditions across the middle part of the country, warmer conditions across the northeast, and warm in general across the western half of the country. The reason for the warm west is because it is the flow from the Pacific Ocean is opening up, and there's a huge ridge that's kind of going like this. Let me draw this out. It's kind of breaking down. It's not really that defined. It's something like this and up here, and the reason why the northeast has been getting pummeled because these storms ride up these little troughs, these jet stream winds, and we are seeing a storm actually right now, and huge massive nor'easter for a province Quebec, and that is bringing some warmer temperatures into the northeast because this low is riding up north. I couldn't draw that up, but this low is riding up north and it is going up and bringing in some warm air, but you can see that gets pushed out with some cooler air afterwards, and you can see we start getting some storms in here, and I'll show you this all on MSLPN preset, which shows you the current radar, what the models think the radar will look like at the given time out, 24 hours out. So this is Sunday. We are expecting quite a bit amount of big storms across the central part of the country. Wisconsin, Michigan, Iowa, Minnesota, UP of Michigan will be getting quite a bit of rain with this, and you can see those systems kind of bringing in that warm air. So we are experiencing some warmer temperatures for the next, I would say, 3 to 4 days, but then you could see this just opens up, and we are talking about bitter cold temperatures for this time of the year. I mean, we're talking about single-digit lows up in areas like Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and you can see this is the first blast, this is the second blast, and I mean, you can see, I would say, two-thirds, the eastern two-thirds of the country, maybe just California, Nevada, and Washington, and parts of Utah, Idaho, and Oregon. I meant to say here, Oregon, and parts of Washington, Utah, and Idaho will be also warmer, but a lot of cold air spilling in, and you can see that some of these will be 16, 20 degrees below average, so that is definitely something to watch, and then you can see it moderates a little bit, and if you want a cold December, it actually would be good if the later part of November would be warm. So if we see a warm second half of November, I would take that actually as a good sign. So right now we're seeing, warm temperatures mixed with cool, and then we just see that Arctic blast of air. I mean, at this point, I would call it Arctic. We are seeing temperatures that are very cold, 15, 13, 14 degrees, 11 degrees up in the north, and you can see this is the daytime high for Friday. Daytime high. You can see that it's not going to get above freezing for areas as far south as southern Indiana. So this is a huge area of expanse of below average temperatures and below freezing temperatures. I mean, you can see during the night, it gets down all the way as far south as Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, northern Georgia, very, very cold temperatures getting down with this system. You can see Saturday not getting above freezing in these areas during the day, and during the nights are just brutal, 15, 12, 10. And again, this may not be record-breaking in terms of all-time records, but it will be record-breaking for this time of the year. I mean, this is only November 11th, couple days, 10, 11 days after Halloween, and you can see, again, Sunday not getting above freezing at all. And the exciting part with this cold air, we actually may be seeing quite a bit of snow, at least for this time of the year, because November usually is not known for its snow. Depends on where you live. Obviously, in the north and the mountains, you will see some snow, but for the areas where we could see snow, it's not really known for it. So let's just go through this. As I explained, we are seeing a massive nor'easter impacting areas like Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, Providence of Quebec, and areas of the Northeast like Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York State. And that passes through. You can see it's a remnants of it now. We are experiencing some back wraparound showers for the Northeast, and mainly the snow is lifting off now currently into the Canada areas. And we are also seeing this little system, nothing too strong. It does get stronger as it pushes on further into the north. You can see it pushes actually quite a big area of precip into the northern part of the United States, extending actually from areas like UP of Michigan all the way down into the Gulf of Mexico. So this is going to be an area-wide, or I should say central area-wide spread of rain, mainly rain. You can see not much snow with this due to the fact that there's not much cold air in place with this. We see another big system with quite a bit of rain pulling up, and that could see some wraparound snow showers into the Midwest, but that's not even the big issue, the big deal. The big deal is right here. I mean, look at this. Potentially snow breaking down as far south as Missouri, southern Illinois, southern Indiana, areas like Kentucky, Ohio. This could definitely be something that could break records as the first early accumulating snowfall for many. Definitely something to be, curious and excited about if you're a weather lover, because this is very exciting weather. You could see that afterwards. We see with this arc. I mean, you could tell based off the pattern if you have been studying or looking at those. If you're familiar with the weather maps, you could see that this is typical of a Arctic or a cold outbreak of weather. Not much precip. There's a high pressure, the 540 line, all the way down here into central Tennessee, which is typically associated with the rain snow line, the 32-degree line, very far south. You can see the lake effect machines get turned on, the lake effect snow, due to the fact that the lakes are warm, but there is quite a bit of cold air running over them, and that's just a perfect recipe for heavy lake effect. You could see quite a bit of lake effect across areas like Buffalo, Syracuse, western parts of the whole state of Michigan and the UP of Michigan. So you can see another potential system of snow, and we see another. This is just really exciting, very exciting actually. Potential for the first snow for many of the season, and I would be very excited by this. And if I were a snow lover, since I am a snow lover, I am very excited by this. So sorry if I may be rushing through this video and some fast speech slurred. I'm just very excited by this weather, very excited by this pattern change. So let's now look at the 6 to 10 day outlook. We're looking at the dates spanning from November 8th through the 12th of 2018, and you can see that the only areas that will be above average is the southwest, the very parts of the southwest, the very southern western parts of the southwest, and extreme parts of the southeast, actually only Florida being above average, and the rest of the United States being below average or at least around average. Precip probability, you can see still quite a bit above average, not as much as it was for the past couple days. We've been seeing quite a bit of rain. I would say that most of the precip that will fall in the next 10 days will fall within the next 3 to 4 days with these big two storms that I just showed you happening across the Midwest. And you can see below average across this west. Now let's move on to the 8 to 14 day outlook. You can see this is where things get a little bit uncertain. We may see some warmer in the south, some cooler in the north, but this is again extending from the 10 to the 16. So at this point we may be starting to change from that very cold pattern, very cold outbreak, into more of a warmer pattern, which would actually mean a good thing for December if you're a snow lover. However, we're just going to focus right now on the cold weather that is ahead for the next couple of days, and you can see maybe the pattern getting a little bit more active potentially. So I would like to show you the European model in terms of snowfall outlook. This is in the next 10 days, new snow. Hopefully you can see that. Again, it has that snow extending from areas like Kansas all the way into potentially as far east as Illinois and as far south as central Missouri and into northern Missouri. Several inches of snow. If I were to click on this, you could see about 10, 11 inches of snow with this system potentially. So I would definitely say first good snow for many, and this is some very exciting stuff. If I were a snow lover again, I would be very excited, and I am a snow lover, so I am excited. We go to areas like Quebec, Newfoundland, and Labrador, Nova Scotia. You could see very big amounts of snow, 20 inches, 30 inches, quite a big amount of snow, and that is due to the fact that these storms will be riding up here, forming and then just strengthening into monsters as they ride off the coast of Canada. Thing I would like to say about this pattern change is that you may be wondering why I haven't made many videos on this previously, since this is only a week. I usually make a video about a pattern change almost a week to 2 weeks in advance. Well, this is only a couple days out. Well, sometimes pattern changes just come out of nowhere, while other times you could see that patterns changes coming out as far out as 300 hours, and this time it was only 120 hours out, and we still weren't sure whether it's going to happen, and now it's fairly likely this cold weather will be happening across the country. So I use this weather model, the CFS. I am right now on pivotalweather.com. It's a great website, equally as good as Tropical Tidbits. I use this for this website. I use it equally as much as Tropical Tidbits. It shows the same information. The thing I like about it has this model called the CFS, and the CFS model is an extremely long-range model that shows you the storms and the long-range temperatures. I would not use it at all to track exact storms or to track exact when the cold front will pass through. Details like that, this model is horrible at. The good thing this model is like, say I'm looking at 2 weeks in advance. Right now, I'm looking, say we see that cold Arctic blast of air, see a little bit cooler air, but right along this time, we see warmer conditions. So, will we see exactly these type of temperatures? Maybe not, maybe yes. But the thing I could take away from this model is that we probably will warm up around late November and possibly into early December and then cool back down. So I like to use this model for that type of stuff, kind of assuming that this will happen based off a couple of things off this model. So let's just go through this. You could see warmer temperatures, couple of big storms indicated by these increased influx of temperatures. Then we see that Arctic outbreak of cold air. You could see very, very cold temperatures getting anywhere you see that blue color that is below freezing. Very cold for this time of the year, and around the 20th of November we start seeing a moderation, start seeing some warm, nice temperatures, or at least warm for this time of the year. And then we see you can see this is actually an Arctic outbreak, like a bitter Arctic outbreak. We start seeing it's just getting accumulated up here, waiting to break down, and into early December, we could see a brutal Arctic outbreak. I mean, you could see, look at that, single digits potentially. So this model, again, isn't the greatest, but I do like using it for these type of systems, for these type of potential outbreaks, potential weather patterns. That's only what I use it for. So that is basically it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hope you learned something new. Consider subscribing to my channel. Consider liking the video, and I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.